Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fretboard Journal podcast. I'm your host, Jason Verlinde, the co-founder and publisher of the Fretboard Journal magazine. How are you all doing? Please let me know. Podcast at fretboardjournal.com is how you can stay connected with us. As always, we've got John Rauhaus playing in the background, and if you've been paying attention for the last year or so, you know that I've been kind of tag teaming on these podcasts with my assistant editor, Sophia Wolfson. Today, I'm happy to announce you get both of us. I'm going to give you some updates from the Fretboard Journal HQ here in Seattle, Washington, tell you a little bit about the Fretboard Summit and some of the other stuff we have brewing. And then Sophia is going to take it over in New York City, where she is interviewing Sam Skinner. Now, if you don't know who that is, Sam was in the incredible band Pinegrove, a band that I still listen to constantly. And he actually recorded many of those legendary sessions as well, and we hear all about that and what he's up to. It's always cool to hear how great records are made, and Sam delivers, so stay tuned for that. Before we get to that, I just want to shout out our sponsors, Peghead Nation, my favorite guitar instruction and mandolin and banjo instruction portal around. Go to pegheadnation.com and you'll see a whole bunch of familiar faces, folks who've been on this podcast, folks who've been in our pages. They are all teachers at Peghead Nation, and if you use the discount code Fretboard when you check out, you get your first month free. You can learn how to be a better player online from home. It's a great way to kind of do things at your own pace. I use it myself. You should too. Our friends at Stringjoy Strings are also offering you all a discount on your first order at stringjoy.com. They've got guitar, mandolin, and banjo strings. They can do custom sets and so much more. And then last but not least, Mike and Mike's Guitar Bar here in Seattle, Washington. An incredibly cool place to go visit in the Fremont neighborhood of Seattle. You can also just go to mmguitarbar.com and see their entire inventory. They've also got this incredibly cool Substack filled with articles on instrument history, including a lot of things I did not know. So go over there and see what they're up to. And of course, the Fretboard Journal's 58th issue with that beautiful Gibson guitar on the cover is now available. Hopefully you've seen it. Hopefully you are a subscriber. If not, join us. Go to fretboardjournal.com, click on the subscribe button. I know it gets a little confusing with our quarterly schedule, but when you go to our website and hit the subscribe button, there is an option to get the current issue. This gets you this issue, issue 58, in the mail to you nearly instantly. You'll get it within a week or so. And then you'll be off to the races and get a new Fretboard Journal every 3 months. And if you haven't seen the magazine before, it's 128 pages of great guitar storytelling, incredible photography, and a beautiful layout with minimal ads. We want to create a true keepsake magazine unlike anything else that is out there. And in addition to the magazine and the podcasts that we do, this podcast, the Truth About Vintage Amps podcast, Luthier on Luthier, our Steel podcast, we do some events. And our first event of 2026, I almost said 2025, is at the Wintergrass Music Festival here in Washington State. This is one of the coolest bluegrass festivals around. If you've never been to a bluegrass festival, this is a great place to try it out because A, you're indoors, you're not camping, you're not getting dusty. B, the music is phenomenal. And C, there's great dining. Your loved ones who don't care about bluegrass can go wander around. What I love about bluegrass festivals in general is even if you don't register, you should register, you should get a ticket. But even if you don't, the amount of jamming and the amount of incredible players and incredible instruments that you can just see from like the entrance is awesome. And we are doing our best to make it awesome by doing our annual vintage instrument workshop. It's taking place February 20th. We have John Reichman, Patrick Sauber, Nina Gerber, and Caleb Clowder on stage with, I don't know, a few $1 million worth of rare acoustic guitars and mandolins. Please come to our workshop. It is one of the most popular events at Wintergrass, and our minds are always blown by the tasting notes that these players have about these rare instruments, the rare instruments that our friends and readers show up with. We usually have like 50 instruments on stage, more than can be played in the 90-minute slot for this workshop. It's a lot of fun. You can go to wintergrass.com to register. We are always in the Regency Ballroom, the big ballroom, and it's always the Friday of Wintergrass at 10 a.m. Like I said, it's February 20th this year. It's going to be a blast. And then on August 20th in Chicago, Illinois, at the Old Town School of Folk Music, our Fretboard Summit is taking place. It goes from August 20th to August 22nd. This is my dream guitar weekend. I would love to see you there. You can go to fretboardsummit.org to register. We've opened the floodgates up to exhibitors and sponsors, and I have to say the lineup this year is stronger than ever, and the last few years have been very strong. So come on out, meet the folks from the brands that you love, meet the luthiers, some of the greatest luthiers of all time who will be exhibiting at this year's festival. Hear and meet some of the people you've heard on this podcast, including folks like the owners of Breedlove, Shane Parrish, who we just had on this podcast, the guy who did the acoustic guitar interpretations of Autechre, and so many others. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag on all the announcements, but just trust me when I say you will have an incredible time at the Fretboard Summit. Whether you're into acoustic or electric guitar, we have incredible bluegrass programming, we have electric guitar stuff, we have jazz, we have so much going on. It's kind of a three-ring circus. We're bringing back the Pinewood Derby for luthiers. That was a hit last year, and a lot of other surprises. So go to fretboardsummit.org to register. Tickets are limited. If you have any questions, again, just email me at podcast@fretboardjournal.com. We are already hard at work on our 59th issue. I just wrapped up a story with Jeff Tweedy on his triple record. It's always a sense of relief when I finish a writing project like that. And so I can't wait for you all to see that issue. But our 58th issue, most of you are probably just cracking open right now. Last but not least, if you haven't been to our website recently, we've got a lot of cool content, including a new interview that I did with Tyler Ramsey and Carl Brummel of My Morning Jacket. They've got a new record out that's truly, truly great called Celestin. Go check that out on all the streaming platforms. And then I guess the final thing I just want to say, our buddy Cameron Knoller, who has written some of my favorite Fretboard Journal stories of the last few years, has published or is about to publish this incredibly cool book, zine, I don't know what to call it. And you can pre-order the book on fretboardjournal.com. You can also pre-order it from Cameron. It doesn't make a difference to me. But we have a limited number of these books available. Boy, Carling Burkout, our old intern, wrote for this. He's got David Rawlings talking about Woodland Studios. Deke Dickerson contributed a piece on Myrtle Travis's favorite cornbread recipe. Dylan Day is in this issue, our dear friend, and so many other familiar faces. So please go check out the book. I will include a link in the show notes. And now I'm done rambling. We're going to hear from our dear friend Sophia Wolfson talking to Sam Skinner. This is a great interview. I hope you enjoy it.
Hello, and welcome back to the Fretboard Journal podcast. I'm Sophia Wolfson, your host today, and assistant editor at the magazine. Our guest today is Sam Skinner, who is a guitarist and engineer and producer here in Brooklyn. He is best known for his work with the band Pinegrove, which he played in for many years. And he has a studio here in Bed-Stuy called Mason Jar, which you should definitely check out. He has really become a pillar of the indie singer-songwriter and extending beyond that Brooklyn music community. He's produced so many records for so many incredible New York artists and beyond. So make sure to check out his discography for sure. And you can also see him play around town in a number of bands. And we talk a bit about that, about collaborating with artists both inside the studio and on stage, and how his approach differs from those two mediums. So without further ado, here is my conversation at Mason Jar Studios with Sam Skinner. Welcome to the Fretboard Journal podcast.
Thank you for having me, Sophia.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Sam. Okay, so let's start with, I want to go back to your guitar origins.
Oh, sure.
So, when do you first pick up the guitar?
Well, I started on bass guitar.
Okay.
When I was in 5th grade.
Was that like through school or outside
Largely
lessons?
through school.
Okay.
Yeah, for like middle school jazz band, I started playing upright bass.
Whoa, I didn't know that about you.
Well, okay, really, I think what it was that my brother was playing guitar.
This is a tale as old as time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You get delegated to the bass.
Yes. And I thought I wanted to do something similar, but not quite as much, and with fewer strings.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that path for a while.
Okay, when does your brother then let you play the guitar?
Yeah, he allowed it when I was in 7th grade. I was at a performing arts summer camp,
Mm-hmm.
and I rented this like really cool Dan Electro U2 guitar. Do you know that model?
No.
It was like the sky blue, like really cool colors. I don't see them very often.
Cool.
And it had a little price tag on it that said $100. And so at the end of the like summer, I asked them like, can I buy this for $100 because it says that on the guitar? And they were like, oh, we've never done that before, but if it says $100, then I guess it's $100. So that was my first guitar.
That was your first guitar?
Yeah.
Cool. How long was that with you?
Oh, quite a while. Through a lot of high school until I got like a nice Telecaster.
Nice.
In my junior year of high school.
So throughout high school, I know you were living in Montclair. You grew up there.
That's right. Montclair, New Jersey.
Montclair, New Jersey. At what point do you start kind of playing with other people, playing in bands?
Yeah, Montclair was a really cool town to grow up in. The story that I tell about it is that like it became a hotspot in the 90s for New York creatives and musicians to move to start families, and then they had kids, and then their kids started playing together, and so there's a lot of music going on in the high school and around it. There was a program called Serendipity Cafe that's still there. It was started by this guy named Ed Kareen, who I think is still running it. He started in like the 70s and it's still going.
Whoa.
But basically it's like a mostly student-run organization that puts on a show every month, like in different like church basements around town.
Yeah.
And that just encouraged so many kids to like collaborate with their peers and start playing music and playing out.
But yeah, so you're playing with friends during this time.
Playing with friends, yeah. And there's a punk venue in town called the Meat Locker that is actually still there too.
Yeah.
Literally built out of an old meat locker. It was like when you picture the stereotypical punk venue in movies, it's exactly that.
It's the spot.
Yeah, like graffiti all over the walls. It's all cement.
Yeah.
I remember there was a piano, an upright piano with all the strings removed, and it was filled with the innards of like a Dutch cigar that people would empty out to roll blunts with.
Wow.
Anyway, that was the vibe.
Cool.
Yeah.
So during this time, you are playing in bands. Did you always know that you wanted to be like a member of a band playing guitar? And like, was there ever a point where you wanted to be the front man?
No.
Yeah.
No, that's not in my nature. Yeah.
We're talking about Montclair High School time, and then you get to college.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go?
SUNY Purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting music program.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was that like?
It was cool. I was in the studio composition program.
Yeah.
I studied basically songwriting and recording.
Cool.
Is how I describe it. And that was really handy.
I want to know about recording because we're going to get to it later in the conversation, but we're sitting in your studio right now in
That's
Brooklyn,
right.
And you are an engineer and you're a producer and you work a lot. And so I want to know about like the early years of recording at SUNY. Like what'd you kind of fall in love with in terms of recording?
Oh, sure. Well, I started recording because I started recording in high school because I was playing in a band where I was the only one that was, really interested in that world.
Yeah.
So I got really into recording then. Like my high school band was like the first full record that I did.
Cool.
And a lot of that I used as like a college application to get into that program. Yeah, and then I just kind of continued in that world. Like I was playing in bands and recording them throughout college and all that. And that's how I really kind of figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were classes like in the college program?
Yeah, there were all sorts. My favorites were they were called master classes, and it would be like between 1 and 4 students and the teacher. You would meet once a week and either go over songs you were working on or recordings, and I get like really good one-on-one advice from the professors. Yeah.
So listeners of the podcast might know you from your work with Pinegrove.
That's right.
So let's talk about how how Pinegrove came into your life.
Yeah, so they mostly went to the same high school as me, but they're older, so they graduated before I came into the school. Yeah, like when I was a senior in high school, I was a fan of the band.
Yeah.
And then freshman year of college, they picked me up to start playing bass with them.
How did you meet?
And then, let's see. Well, Nick Levine, who was playing guitar for a while in the band, was just a year older than me. So we were playing shows together throughout high school.
Yeah.
So they really, I think, were the connection point there.
You meet that way. And when you say they picked you up to play bass, how are you managing that with school, too?
It was tough, actually. I was, well, let's see, Nick went to school at Bard, and they would often just which is north of Purchase.
Yeah.
They would often pick me up on the way to New Jersey to rehearse.
Wow. And then do some
and
sort
then
of tour.
do a rehearse and then a couple shows in Brooklyn or something.
Yeah.
And then drop me back off.
It's interesting because what would become your fundamental role outside of playing guitar in the band is recording the band.
That's right.
When did that start?
The record Cardinal, which came out in 2016, was mostly recorded by Evan, the frontman, in his childhood bedroom. I recorded the drums with them, but everything else he did himself. And then he brought it to me to mix it when I was a junior in college.
That is so insane to me. That's just, you and I have talked about
this.
It's
insane to me, too.
You and I are close.
Yeah.
That record, for my generation, went to high school, was in high school when that record came out.
Yeah.
Is so seminal. It's so important. So the idea that you mixed that as a junior in college is bananas to me.
Me too. I mean, I think there's a really big lesson there.
Yeah.
I mean, I mixed it on a pair of KRK 5s.
Wow.
In my dorm room. And I didn't know what I was doing. Frankly, I wasn't very good.
But it was all intuition.
There was intuition. I mean, I think the big takeaway there was it's all about the source material.
Totally.
The source material is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the songs were great.
Yeah.
The performances were energetic and passionate. And when you have that, it's kind of hard to fuck it up, Totally. I mean, you can fuck it up, and I'm glad that it turned out listenable and vibey. It had a strong vibe to it.
Yeah.
There was an aesthetic vision there. I think that was an important thing. It should be said too. I mean, I worked a lot with Evan on that one too. We spent a long time on the mixes.
Yeah.
To really get them to where he envisioned them, and I feel like we really kind of met in the middle.
Yeah. In
a lot of places. I was coming to recording trying to be very clean and pristine about things, even though I didn't know how to do it at the time. And he was looking for a little more, a little
grit,
more fur. Yeah.
Texture.
Grit. Yeah.
Yeah. Aliveness.
And I learned a lot about that process too.
Yeah.
I learned a lot in that process too. You
mentioned that when you got poached for the band, you're playing bass. When do you start playing guitar in Pinegrove?
In 2016, I graduated from college.
Okay.
And start going on tour with them.
Got it.
As a guitarist. I was playing that same Telecaster that I bought in high school.
What is it?
It's a Mexican thin line. Single coils.
Cool.
It was a great guitar. I sold it to my brother 3 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's still in the family.
Wow, it goes full circle because your brother played guitar before you.
That's right. And then I surpassed him.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you guys started touring a lot, and then that kind of brings us to the next record.
Yeah.
Which is the first one, right, that you have more of a role recording.
Yeah, I'd say I fully engineered and co-produced that record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was that process like? Where'd you do it?
They found this house in upstate New York, kind of between Hudson and Albany, that area. And fully rented it. They some of them lived there for a time. I lived there for a while too, but after that recording process. This house was really interesting. It's like an old Dutch farmhouse. Basically, at some point, they doubled the size of the house.
Okay.
But made the new half of it one giant room.
Whoa.
So they just added one room that was the size of the original
whole
house.
Yeah.
Which architecturally is insane. I don't know why they did that, but it was perfect for
a studio.
For recording.
Yeah.
Had this beautiful, like, what's that called?
It's like slanted roof. Kinda.
Yeah, like triangular.
Yeah.
And it sounded so good in that room. And we started recording there like a week after they moved in.
Wow. It just had that vibe. It was ready.
It was ready, yeah. Frankly, I feel like we got a little carried away. We were so excited about how good the room sounded. I had like a pair of room mics like permanently installed, basically.
Wow.
That we just threw on like every track.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that the same way now, but
specific to that room.
It was specific to that room and that time, and we were just like really going for that sort of thing. I mean, look, no regrets. I think it's a really cool record and a really cool sound.
Yeah.
But we were obviously very excited by that.
Yeah.
That process.
Is this Skylight?
Skylight. Yeah.
Okay. It's really interesting. Yeah, thinking about like how a space can, like, you can hear the space on those records for sure.
Yeah, and like the gear we were tracking with was pretty minimal. You know, like we bought like a Focusrite interface.
Yeah.
You know, like a decent mic collection, but nothing like super fancy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the same lesson as the previous record. Like the songs were there.
Yeah.
The players were good. It was we got passionate performances.
Totally.
And a lot of room sound.
Totally. Yeah. Speaking of gear, so yeah, we're sitting in your studio. You've made more of a transition in the last few years to being set up in Brooklyn, working out of Mason Jar, producing and engineering.
Yeah.
But you also still play guitar a lot with various artists in the city. What kind of guitars are you playing these days?
My main guitar right now is this Telecaster that I bought from Mill River Guitars in Northampton, Massachusetts. I went there with the goal of getting the Telecaster of my dreams.
Did you find it?
Well, after trying every single Telecaster in the store and just giving it back to the guy and be like, sorry, that's not the one.
Yeah.
He pulled this one out of the back that had been built by the owner of the shop.
Okay.
It was a custom build for like some local Northampton guy. That then returned it 10 years later. So it was available. And I fell in love with it immediately.
It was the right one.
It was the right one.
What about the feel? Is that you knew it was the right one?
It just sounds great. It's got a gold foil pickup in the neck position and some kind of standard like Lawler thing in the bridge. A 4-way switch that allows for both series and parallel wiring. I don't know. It's just a beautiful guitar. This kind of like baseball bat neck.
Yeah, my favorite.
Style.
You just knew.
And
that's been your main guitar since...
For the past couple of years. Yeah.
And then in terms of acoustics, anything cool in the studio?
My main acoustic is an early 70s Guild Dreadnought that I bought at your old stomping grounds.
My old stomping grounds.
Old style guitars.
I know. I wish I had
Los
sold
Angeles.
It to you.
Yeah.
I think it was a little before my time.
Yeah, it was the first guitar. So Ruben Cox is the owner there.
We love you, Ruben.
It was his friend's first guitar that he sold to Ruben, then Ruben restored it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was another thing. I started playing it and fell in love immediately.
Yeah. It's nice to know the story behind it.
Yeah. That was in like 2018, so I've been playing that one for a while.
Yeah. And you use it at the studio. Does it record well?
So well. It's been on like every record that I've done.
Wow.
Since then. Yeah.
Tell me about this Strat you've modified.
Yeah, the Sustainer Strat. So that started as an Ed O'Brien signature Strat. He's one of the guitarists of my favorite band, Radiohead, which basically it's a all white Strat with a Fernandez sustainer pickup. I took that and I added a Duesenberg multi-bender bridge.
Cool.
So that adds 2 levers in the right hand palm position that can raise the strings in a similar mechanism to like a pedal steel guitar. I added that and changed out the neck, changed out the pickups. I added like a lap steel pickup, like a Guitarcaster kind of thing.
Hell yeah. What kind of stuff do you find yourself using that guitar on?
Recording stuff,
Mainly,
know. Yeah. It's a really cool like production tool.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of sounds out of it. Yeah, it's like, kind of sort of pedal steel stuff, but you can sustain infinitely. Mm-hmm. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably fun to play with, like, how much control you have over it. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So you mentioned it as, like, a studio tool. So in the last few years, I mean, obviously for many years because of Pinegrove and such, but I feel like really in the last few years you've been producing a lot of different bands and songwriters. Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little about, like, what your approach is like in the studio with the bands. Like, when bands come in and you're hearing the songs, what's your favorite way to go about producing them?
I like doing a lot of live tracking. I usually recording a song starts with some form of a live arrangement. Often I'll get some like session friends of mine in and we'll learn the song together. Yeah, but I mean, it really depends on the project.
Yeah.
I did this record recently with an artist named Olivia Barton that came out a couple months ago. And we started that record with the idea of doing it like fully live tracked.
Yeah. Like
we did acoustic instruments, final vocals, drums, everything in one room. Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Olivia has written about being a really big Pinegrove fan.
That's true.
And
that's how we connected.
Yeah, and that's very much a Pinegrove ethos in some ways, like kind of hearing everything all together.
Funny thing about Pinegrove records is that there's not that much live tracking going on there.
Which is so interesting because it sounds like everyone's...
I know. Everyone's always like, I love how you did that all live.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh, okay.
Tricked ya.
See, I got.
Yeah. Okay. It's just because it's roomy, yeah. I guess,
Totally. Okay, but that sound could kind of make you want to do everything live in the room, for sure.
Yeah, there's something appealing and there's something really strong that you get out of a live performance. So we were doing that. We actually, Zach Levine, the Pinegrove drummer, was playing drums on that record too.
On the Olivia record, yeah.
And playing so quietly so that it wouldn't bleed too much into vocal mics, And we did, I think, 5 songs that way. And then at a certain point, I mean, a lot of credit to Olivia for recognizing, like, she was just like, this isn't right.
Yeah.
This vibe isn't right. I'm not really happy with, like, vocal performance when I'm doing it this way.
That is from experience, I know that's a lot to ask of a vocal performance, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, the thing with that record is that we were really trying to capture what was so magical about her solo performance. Like, when she was up on stage, I mean, she can captivate an audience like very few people can.
Yeah.
And so then we changed course at that point, but I still wanted to capture that like live Olivia performance. So then we started every song with like her and I playing guitars and her singing together, usually like 2 acoustics or some arrangement like that. And then produced everything on top of that.
Cool.
So, much less of a live thing and much more kind of sound designy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's like a layering quality, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But it still is live at its core.
Yeah, at its core, yes. But I just found that it's such an interesting trade-off between those two methods.
Yeah.
Doing it fully live versus like multi-tracking and really honing in on every little
Yeah, and then
piece.
producing these songwriters really becomes like what part of the like what on the spectrum, what part of it works for them, and
Yeah.
like what makes most sense for the songs.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I've actually like when I've started to work with new artists, I'll often show them the Olivia Barton recordings that we've made. One that was live tracked, and then the same song that we did
yeah,
multi-tracked.
yeah,
To just be like, okay, this is basically the difference.
yeah. These are the
between
two
these
ends.
two.
Yeah, totally.
Like the same artist, same song.
Yeah.
This is,
That's
what
really
we can achieve
interesting.
differently.
Yeah, I feel like it's not talked about enough how much experimenting goes into the recording process and how
Yeah.
much may inevitably fall away or get retracked, but it doesn't mean that it was a waste. It totally got you to the next phase.
Completely. Yeah, it's all part of the process. And it's so healthy to throw things out
Totally.
that you've worked hard on, that
Yeah.
you spend a lot of time on and feel good about.
Totally.
I mean, there were a couple songs that we did live where I was like, Olivia, are you sure you want to start this over? It's so good. But ultimately, I'm happy that we did.
Yeah.
And
that's also part of the producing process, which is like you are serving the art. You're working with the artist and you're
Exactly.
serving the artist.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And also, part of my ethos in the studio is to never say no to things that the artist
interesting.
requests or like any
Yeah.
ideas that they might have. I feel like it's such, like it makes sense that a producer would be like, cool idea, but I know best and I have a better
Totally.
idea.
No, I like that.
I just find that when an artist has an idea and I don't think it's a very good idea, 90% of the time I either end up liking it or am able to kind of push it in a direction that we both like.
Yeah, you can, if you're just saying yes and instead of saying no, like
Exactly.
you can co-create the idea in a way instead of either saying no or just kind of coming around to it or whatnot.
Exactly.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, no, I've learned to never say no to things.
Wow, people could really learn something from you.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've been playing guitar live also with a lot of people recently, but one of your main collaborators, both in the studio and live, is the artist Fen Lily. Could you talk a bit about your experience of playing guitar live in the band with her over the past couple of years? What's that been like? What's it like to take recordings you've made together in the studio and bring them live? Are you playing the same parts, or do you feel like when you play live, it's a more alive changing thing?
You have to change things.
Exactly.
Because it's a different medium entirely, recording music versus live music. Yeah, I feel like it's good to never be married to how a recording sounds and how it's arranged.
Yeah.
Yeah. And vice versa too, if something works really well live, that doesn't always mean it works well in the studio, or you have to change some things.
No, I think that's totally true. And I feel like obviously I grew up a Pinegrove fan and have seen you guys play a lot, and I feel like that was really important to the band too. Of just you guys were never playing the records exactly. Yeah,
live arrangements evolved so much with that band.
Yeah.
To the point where we would listen back to the album versions and be like, what the hell?
Yeah, it sounds completely foreign now.
Like tempos would be 20 BPM off or something.
So what are you working on now that you're excited about? What are you excited about for next year too?
Well, finishing up a record with Fen Lily, who you mentioned. I'm very excited about that. There's a lot of local songwriters in the Brooklyn scene.
Yeah, you're quite tapped in. It feels like so many people I meet have worked with you or been through the studio. It's
been good. Well, since I stopped touring essentially and started doing the studio thing, I've really kind of found there's such a strong community here in the music scene in New York. And that's been really fun to tap into and really fruitful. And there's so many great bands and songwriters, and it's just been a treat to get a lot of them into the stew.
Yeah, it's nice to be the local guy.
I'm one of the local guys.
You're one of them, but you're an important one.
Thank you.
Anything you, like for a last question, anything you've heard recently or this year or, either a record or a show you went to that really moved you?
Yeah, I mean, I always love Sam Abaddon. I've been listening to him religiously for like 10 years. And, go to see him every time he plays in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went to the show with the Owl.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Shahzad Ismaili.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he borrowed my guitar for that show.
Shahzad Ismaili did borrow your guitar for that show.
Yeah. I saw, one of my favorite guitarists right now is, her name's Courtney Hartman.
She's a friend of the Fretboard Journal.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I saw her play a house show in Red Hook a couple of months ago.
Was it just solo?
Solo, but people would come up and accompany her occasionally. I just highly recommend her Instagram account. My God.
What do you mean?
Every time she just posts these Instagram videos of her playing acoustic guitar in her like Midwestern home.
Yeah.
And she's so good. It's kind of like, it's very, in the traditional folk world.
Yeah.
It's like bluegrass adjacent. Just such a beautiful player. And every time she posts a video, I just spend 20 minutes with it. Like
watching it on a loop.
Watching it and like kind of analyzing it. I think she's
play it.
Just so tapped into something really, really special.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, that was Sophia talking to Sam Skinner. Thank you for tuning in, as always. Podcast at fretboardjournal.com is how you can reach out to me if you ever have any questions, concerns, you name it. And thanks, as always, for being a part of the Fretboard Journal podcast. I know the world is crazy right now. Having these interviews and conversations with people every week just helps keep me a little bit more sane. Hopefully it does the same for you and provides a nice distraction. Thanks, as always, for tuning in.